guys, welcome to the channel with Adam with ND72. So today we're going to be back with the buggy. So I haven't named this little bad boy or girl yet, but we'll come up with a fun name. So what we got today is I ordered quite a bit of parts. Some of these parts we'll be installing today, some of them will be a future video. We're actually going to see how long it takes to do each part. And then, if the video is stupidly too long, I'll start cutting it up. But we're going to be hopefully getting this buggy to be propelling forward today. That is the goal, or get really, really close to it. At least do a fire up. So what we got in these boxes are a series of goodies for this nice little buggy. And you know what we have in here? Not the coolest part. The coolest part is what I got over here, and it is our motor. So, the buggy came with basically right around 5.5 horsepower. It wasn't the best, simplest motor to rebuild and all that stuff. The Honda one, the parts were stupidly expensive, so I just kind of not going to even bother with that, especially when Harbor Freight Predator motors are so inexpensive and so reliable. So what I did is I got a Predator motor. Now, which motor would I have got? I could have just went from a 6.5 horsepower motor, which would have got me around, would have been tons of fun. But instead what I did was went a little bit bigger. Boom. I got a big boy. I got one of the biggest ones I basically could have got in this configuration. This is a 420, 13.5 horsepower big boy. So this should propel me real quick. So the plan is to start installing this bad girl today, weld it up, mock it up. But as I'm noticing right now, if you can see, it's about to start to rain here in nice sunny Florida. So now I have to move all my crap in the garage, but we're still going to be working on this bad girl. I'll tell you more about this motor once we get inside. So what we got here is a Harbor Freight Predator 420 motor. This is one of the big boys in my opinion. So big benefit of this one over the other one, first of all, it's a 420 and it comes up to $427. Ironically, it's got key start, so I get to utilize the key ignition. It comes with the starter and it has an emergency pull cord, which we'll try to keep right there. Over the smaller motors, this has a 1-inch shaft. I'm pretty sure I'll have to double check, but hopefully because I ordered all parts for 1-inch shaft. So this bad boy should be so much more power for that little cart. This should be plenty of what we need. So what we're doing first with this little motor, well, not little but big motor, is dress it up. So I ordered a torque converter for it. So I'm going to open up the torque converter. It should bolt all up. I might have to do a little bit of massaging, but the torque converter should bolt right up. I'm going to show you everything I got. I'm going to spread it all out on the floor. We're going to build this motor. Then we'll pull the buggy in and do some measurements. I think I have to do quite a bit of customization to make this work. All right, so what we got is a full torque converter set up from BLACKHORSE-RACING. So this should be set up for a 40 chain, and this should be for a 1-inch shaft, which that should be. So from my understanding, I was looking online, got it off Amazon. This should be a full kit to bolt right up. Comes with a belt, it comes with hardware, a few spacers, basically clutch, torque converter, and cover. Now what I saw, some of these covers don't actually clear. So we're gonna first bolt this up, and that cover will be an afterthought. But from what it looks like, it should just bolt right up to that whole housing over there. So we'll see, make sure it all bolt up, because I'm pretty sure this should go on the shaft. Belt spins this spins the chain, and Bixo Bambo, pow, baby. So I'll tell you all the specs. I'll put them down below. I'll look it up and probably at the end of the video go over it. But I first want to even see if this works. If it doesn't work, I did order a different torque converter over there. So, because I wasn't sure exactly which one will work on there. So we're going to test fit this one and hopefully it fits. So this kit came with 0 directions. So that might be why it's an inexpensive kit. Because this whole thing I think was like $70. So I laid out the hardware just to kind of see what I got. You got 4 of those, 1 of those, a few washers, a few this. So it's going to be a little bit of trial and error. I might have to look up online, see if I can find their website, but there was no instructions. So we'll learn together. Hopefully I get it done right. If I don't, maybe one of you guys in the comments will tell me. Okay, so to get this torque converter on, a lot of them, you got to angle it because it's got to go under the dipstick housing. That way you still have access to it over there. Also, what I just found about this torque converter setup, oh crap, a little wobbly, is if you can see I can't push it all the way in. So what's happening is right here, this fin is hitting. So I'm going to pull this off. I'm going to make sure there's not another way to do it. And if there isn't, I'm going to just grind the fin in the back right over here off. Because this should be all just structural. So one missing should be good. All right, so we got that back piece notched out. I kind of went not enough, so I went a little bit more. And hopefully it'll fit right in there now. Alright, so we got it all massaged. As you can see, I can now see down where this is. So we got plenty of clearance there. I did massage a little bit on the casing over here too. But nothing's hit anymore. It's sitting bolted up flush. The 4 bolt holes I used was this one, that one, that one, and that one. So now we got this set up. I'm going to put it back straight again. Well, maybe I'll probably leave it like this and build the rest of it out. So now we're going to put the front end of the clutch over here on. Okay, another thing I had to do, I had to switch the other torque converter off that I bought from Amazon to this, basically, Comet Series 40 knockoff one. So we got that on there, and the belt got all on, so it's pretty good fitment. Now we got to work on trying to get this motor, or engine, into the buggy. So what I did is I jacked it up. So what everyone's telling me is, to make this motor work, you have to flip the axle. Because right now, if I put the shaft going this way, it'll basically always be going in reverse. Because this motor runs counterclockwise. So what we got to do is we got to get that sprocket and axle flipped over to the other side. So I read a lot of stuff. A lot of people have said literally all you do is debolt this axle, rotate it, and then it should line up pretty good. And I did have to order a different plate off Amazon. I'll put a link below. This one should bolt right up. So we got a couple measurements. So first I want to do is flip the axle. Shouldn't be that bad. I got the cart lifted up. So we're going to take the wheels off. It should be 4 bolts over here. And then I'm hoping this thing will just like tap right down. And then I can rotate it right around. Alright, so now I got the 6 bolts. You got this little cover for the bearing. And these are bearings right here if you can see over there. So they seem pretty good. So I should just be able to tap them a little bit. And then this whole axle should drop down because there's nothing else holding it. So I'm going to put the camera down, give this a little tappity tap tap. I'm going to try to just tap this bearing out a little bit. Because if you see, there's like a groove it sits in right there. And then this axle should drop down. Oh yeah, and also I had to take the brake caliper off. It's just 2 bolts right here. I just swung it out of the way. Because everything's going to flip over. So I'm going to have to redo the brakes. Probably cut this mount off and just re-weld it over here later on. But for right now, we're just going to have it sit to the side. So helpful hint, when dropping this axle, if you see, they're different diameters. So that's thicker. That's one stage, and that's the thinnest. So if you just tap these bearings, drop them out, and then this side slides through these holes. But this side won't. So don't go start banging and destroying it. Just tap your bearing out a little bit, and then it should drop right out. So now what we're going to do, now that we have it all like that, I'm going to take it and flip it, and then bring it right back up. And I'm also going to like kind of clean it up a little bit, and then lube up the bearings. Alright, so this is kind of the idea I have for putting the motor in. Don't mind my welds, they're kind of boogery. I just kind of did it really quick. So basically I got some 1-inch square stock going from that brace over there, this over here. I got an Amazon plate that bolts up, and then I got this square stock. I already lined it up, so my sprocket should hit that sprocket pretty well. So this should be pretty effing sturdy. Hopefully it doesn't crack. I kind of did a lot of like weld, nothing really too crazy. So hopefully this will last. So we're going to throw the motor on and make sure it all still fits. Okay, so benefit of how it's slotted. So right here, we're basically dead basically right above the sprocket of sprocket. And when I want to add tension, I pull the motor back and it should add enough tension. These slots are giving me pretty much a lot of room. So we're going to try to align the chain, get it pretty tight like this, and then shove that sprocket, shove the motor all the way back, and then tighten it down. Alright, so we got the motor in, we got the chain in, we got the belt all in. We got all tightened up, and it moves pretty effing freely, as you could see. So I just got to rack it a little bit over the crap on the floor, but one-handed, moves pretty good. I still got to put the master link back in the chain, but I'm running into a few issues. So as you can see, me trying to do the factory exhaust doesn't really fit. So I can either cut these beams off, which I'm not going to do that. And I want to try to keep the factory muffler for right now. So what I think I'm going to do is we're going to cut it right here and just extend that out. And that way I could use the factory muffler. It'll probably give me a little performance because you're basically making a header in sense. And then the other issue I got is right here. So here's the air intake. So even if I take the box off, when you basically go over a bump, you bang it. So unfortunately, I can't do nothing with that now. I do have to order an intake. I already got one on order, but it won't be here for a couple days. So most likely in this video, what we're going to do is I'm going to chop this off. And also what I decided to do, here's the factory gas tank. I'm going to just rig it up here for right now with probably bungee, probably bungee cords. And then once I like that, I make sure nothing else will hit it. I'm going to probably cut these ears off and make a nice little bracket over there. Or find the factory tank. If someone knows where to get them, just put in the link below. But so far, it looks to be good in there. It's not hitting anything. Even with these brackets still there, I'm not hitting anything with any of the torque converter or any of the clutch stuff. The chain is basically dead butts right on there. And I still have plenty of tension to make it even more tighter from these slots moving in and out. So far, pretty nice on that. I just got to figure out about the intake and the exhaust. All right, so what we basically did is just cut the factory muffler right off. And this is a 1.5 inch outside diameter, 1 inch inside diameter. So I got some old scrap piping I got right there. So the plan is to just weld it up. Something like this. I might have to trim it a little bit, maybe get the bends better. But I want to weld it to this flange first, see where it comes out, and then have that muffler. Hopefully, this muffler sits somewhat like over here. So it still should be relatively quiet, something like that, facing some way. And this was all free, so I'm going to spend that $30 kit. And it might give me a little bit of performance because basically traveling the fumes up first. So we'll clean this old rusty, basically scrap pipe I got up, which these are pretty cheap. This is just, like I said, inch inside diameter, and we'll weld it right there. I'll clean all this up. All right, so we got my whole exhaust in. It does look a little bit funny, but I think it's going to work pretty well because I still have basically a whole header setup where it'll probably give me a little bit more power than it goes to the factory muffler to keep it pretty quiet. And it doesn't hit anything. And this thing was free for me to build, so if I don't like it, it didn't cost me $1. But unfortunately, the other thing is I still don't have the intake yet. So we're going to have to put a stop on the video there. But we got the whole motor in. We got the belt on. We got the chain on. It fits in there perfectly. It rolls good. So I'm pretty happy with it. So the next video, we're going to be throwing the intake on. I might be removing the governor, get the whole throttle linkage, and get this bad girl fired up. But not bad. So I hope you guys liked the video. Throw a like down, throw a comment down, and there'll be more on my little buggy.